Essay 28, Goats and Chickens. Is Shalom kind of like Jesus? Elliot Curtis, my son. Mulberry Community Garden has a small family of goats and chickens that rest and live under the shade of a big mulberry tree. We went there first with Theri, her son Noah, and little newborn Finn, the one other family we'd met in our city who was homeschooling their boys the way we were. They brought us to this little treasure they'd discovered a few months earlier, and when my boys first saw those goats and chickens, a new door opened in their hearts and they were smitten. We promised each other that we'd come back, that we'd care for these creatures and honor their little home in the middle of our city, and we've been back numerous times since. One night I took my boys there after dinner, after a full day of failed attempts to coax them out of wrestling with each other in our tiny apartment. We drove out to visit our creature friends, feeding them plants and falling mulberries from their home tree. I'm not sure these animals realize what kind of magical home they inhabit next to numerous garden plots, but my two boys certainly recognize it. In all the grandeur of this sky-shaped city, they get to spend an hour with their new friends, an hour to care for something, to spend their energy staining their fingers black with mulberry juice, while I sit and watch in awe of the way the universe works. This, for now, is all the evidence I need that things were created to work a certain way, a beautiful cycle of one creature caring for the next, that creature caring for their kin, and so on. When a grad school semester ends for my husband, we all feel it. The pull to get away, to spend all afternoon in the kayak on the lake, to roam and journey and experience more of the world outside us. Sometimes it is the moon's precious shape that reminds us, sometimes the glimmer of stars or the bloom of her flower. We saw more boats at Bevan and Rowan's little commune on the other side of Atlanta. There were rabbits and sheep in a petting zoo, horses that looked you in the face and ate apples from your hand, and a giant chessboard with plastic pieces that shone in the afternoon sun. Another glimpse of kingdom. Even there we saw the way things are wired to work, as we fed apples to the horses, their eyes twinkling at our boys to thank them for the morning visit. We seem to be wired for this, for the escape, for the getaway car that takes us outside of ourselves, outside of the comfort zones, outside of the closed-in spaces, to visit chickens and goats, to remember another part of life, to recognize the full cycle and to get the full picture. And when we return home to nap in our beds, to eat a hearty lunch, to watch a favorite cartoon, we remember that we call ourselves blessed, everything around us gift, the presence of God in our very midst, every little thing created for us to care for and have care for us. The prayer. God, if there is some mysterious order of things that holds the world together, we don't really know about it. What we know is what we see and feel and touch, what we partake of with the senses. We know how to feed each other. We take in beauty. We share moments with created things, to remember that we are tethered to each other for a greater and deeper good, for a true and lasting holiness. This seems to be kingdom as best we can understand it. This seems to be kingdom where kingdom can be understood in tiny bits and pieces, tiny things that keep us longing for more of you. Amen.